Hi class, welcome to my class. This morning I'm so happy to have you here again. So we can continue with the concept of proportions. Remember, we discussed the concept of ratios and proportions, and we said that ratios are just a way of comparing two different numbers. Like for example, when there are 5 girls in a class and 4 boys. When there are 5 girls and 4 boys, you say that the ratio of the girls to the boys is 5 to 4. Is 5 to 4. And the ratio of the boys to the girls is 4 to 5. So this is boys to the girls. And this is girls to the boys. So you start with the girls amount at the top because it's the girls to the boys. Girls to the boys. And for the boys to the girls, you start with the boys number at the top. These two numbers, or these two, they look like fractions, but they're not fractions. They are ratios because they are actually comparing the amount of the girls to the amount of the boys. So that comparison is called a ratio. Ratios are so important because you use them daily when you go shopping. We'll take examples of ratios here. It says proportions, but we're going to figure out what is a proportion. A proportion is when you have two ratios and you want to equal them. That's a proportion. I'll give you an example. Let's say I use 2 liters to I use 2 liters of water to for example water 4 square meters of my flower bed. So if I want to I want 4 liters. What is the space I'm going to water here? I'm going to water, obviously it's 8 square meters. So this is a proportion because in this proportion you have one ratio and you have another ratio. What do you have in the middle of the two ratios? There's an equal sign. So you're comparing these two ratios with an equal sign. Then this whole thing is a proportion. It's a proportion. Good. So now we have understood what a proportion is. We have understood what the ratio is. Let's move on to solving this problem. This problem is one of the real life problems that you encounter when you go shopping. If 4 kilograms of potatoes cost $60, this is so much, I know, but it's just an example. Say $60. Now calculate the cost of 1 kilogram of potato. 4 kilograms, $60. What is the price of 1 kilogram? Solution. Now, some of you may ask the question, what is the ratio here? What's the proportion here? Well, there's ratios because if we look in the problem, there's kilograms and there's dollars. So we are comparing the kilograms to the dollars. For the first question, question A, 4 kilograms costs $60. So I'll put $60 at the bottom. I have a ratio there. 4 kilograms cost $60. Let me write it in black. 4 kilograms is equal to $60. We basically spend 4 kilograms, spend $60 to buy 4 kilograms. And now I'm going to make a proportion now. This is the first ratio. Now, how do you get the second ratio? It says 1 kilogram. So I'll put 1 kilogram there. And it says, what is the cost? Calculate the cost. The cost for 1 kilogram is not known. It's a question mark. So we don't need to put a question mark there. We can put the letter X. So I'll put the letter X. We don't know the cost. Now, with cross multiplication, remember we did cross multiplication in the last video. I would use a red marker. So when you do cross multiplication, X is going to multiply the 4 kilograms 60 is going to multiply 1 kilogram. So I will basically have x times 4 is 4 kilograms, brackets, I'll put the x here, which is equal to 1 kilogram times $60. Now remember that we don't need to keep the kilograms and the dollars signs in our calculations. It was just an example to show you. But now you can remove that. So you have basically 4x. 4 times x is 4. We remove this, remove that, and remove the dollar sign. And then this is equal to 1 times 6 is equal to 60. So 4x is equal to 60. How do you determine x? Remember, when you solve equations, what is the number that you multiply by x to get 60? So x is equal to 15. You multiply 15 by 4 to get 60. So the cost for 1 kilogram is $15. $15. Excuse me. I'll put the dollar sign there. So if 1 kilogram is $15, another kilogram is $15. Another kilogram, kilogram is $15. Another kilogram is $15. 15 plus 15 is 30. This is 30. And this is also 30. 30 plus 30, this is equal to 60. You see? 1, 2, 3, 4 kilograms is equal to 60. Then my calculations are correct. I'm done with the first question, question A. Let's move on to question B. In question B, it says, let's calculate the cost for 12.5 kilograms. So let's go back to the ratio that we have in the problem. 4 kilograms for $60. I put 4 at the top and 60 at the bottom. And in the problem it says 12 kilograms. Remember, I should put the kilograms at the top, like here. I had kilograms at the top, kilograms at the top. Dollars at the bottom, dollars at the bottom. And this x is equal to 15. We just determined it, that it's equal to 15. So 4 cents for the kilograms. And here it says 12.5. I'm going to put 12.5 kilograms. So all the kilograms are at the top. And then at the bottom, we need to find the price, the dollars. This is question B. And here, you need to do this exact same thing. Remove the question mark and put the x here. And then let's do cross multiplication. We're going to cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, x is multiplying 4. Excuse me, this is going to give 4x. X times 4 is 4x. And 60 times 12.5. 60 times 12.5. This is, yes, 60 times 12.5. And x, how do you get x? To get x, you need to multiply both sides by 4. To get rid of the 4, remember when you solve equations. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Because I want to get rid of this 4, the 4 is gone, x is now all by itself. Now let's determine the value here. Then I can simplify by 4 and by 4. This is 15 times 12.5. When you multiply 15 times 12.5, you have the answer for the price of 12.5 kilograms. Now C. In C, in the question C, you need to find the amount. So let me keep the ratio. See, the ratio comes everywhere. I need this ratio. It's the only thing that happens. 4 over 60. 4 kilograms, $60. 4 kilograms, $60. That ratio is important. Then I put the equal sign to make a proportion. And it says for the cost here, the cost is 105. So where is the cost? The 4 is a kilogram and 60 is the cost, and then the cost is at the bottom of the fraction. Then I'm going to put my cost at the bottom of the fraction, and here at the top I'll put an x. Then I will cross multiply. 4, I will cross multiply. So it's 4 times 105. This is equal to 60x. But you don't really need to multiply the 60. You can keep the 60 at the bottom like this, and then you have x. So what is 4 times 105 divided by 60? You can figure out this with a calculator and find the answer easily. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.